Turns over 2 seconds, man. 2 seconds. Wow, soft. Very soft. Very soft. Hey, how you doing, Duff here? Merry Christmas Eve. It's a little bit before noon. Thought I would get out and get some riding in. Cindy's had to teach a couple classes today, so she's not at home, so I thought I would just quick get out and ride a little bit. Grab my coffee. I'm actually, unless I have some sort of last second inspiration, I'm kind of done with my Christmas shopping, which is nice to not have that hanging over me. So I decided to come here. I'm at North Collier Regional Park again, which I was just at last week. But I have the one wheel. Haven't ridden the one wheel in probably a week, and it was feeling lonely, so I brought the one wheel with. I'm hoping I can do this effectively. I've been kind of doped up on Advil the last 24 hours. It's really weird. All of a sudden, late yesterday afternoon, I started getting this pretty severe pain in my hip, in my left hip, out of nowhere. It's really weird. I didn't do anything that should have injured it. Yesterday, I didn't really do anything overly physical at all. Most physical thing I probably did was change the oil in the Prius. But yeah, I have this nasty pain, and if I'm not on Advil, it's really painful. So I don't know. It's just like most things anymore. You ride it off to old age and just shrug your shoulders and move on. But that's what we're gonna do. Guess I don't remember what mode I'm in here on the one wheel. So let's verify my mode. Mission mode. All right. I'm gonna go into my custom mode, I think, instead, which is basically delirium. But let's try that out. Probably seen the most videos out of me in a short period of time in quite a while. Probably the most since I had the Z10, where I was pumping out, 5 videos in the span of 3 days. I guess the time off will do that to you. Last night we had another good live stream. Marty came back on last night, and the show was almost 2 hours long. I posted it to YouTube, obviously, and also tried to convert to a podcast, but I messed up something with the feed, so I have to fix it when I get home. The feed is actually showing the previous week's, or it's playing the previous week's show instead of last night, so I'll fix that later. But yeah, it was a good show. You should check it out. We talk a lot about Marty's crash and his new viewpoint on safety gear. And if you haven't seen any of the pictures, he's really been investing heavily in a full crash suit, basically. And he also, on the stream, he showed off this really cool helmet. It's neat. It's a full face helmet with a flip down visor, 2 visors, actually a visor and then like a sunscreen behind it. But the chin piece actually can flip up out of the way so I could drink coffee. So that really perked my interest. It's expensive. I think he said it was like $275, a lot of money. But the idea of being able to have a full face helmet and drink coffee as needed is appealing, I have to say. I don't want to stay out here too long because I'm actually supposed to be getting a Christmas Eve delivery of a present for Katie and Daniel. Talk about last minute. I ordered it probably 3.5 weeks ago, or actually it might be a month ago almost. Yeah, 3.5 weeks. And yeah, it's following in the lines of my previous presents for Katie the last 2 years. 2 years ago I bought Katie an Inmotion B5F for Christmas, and last year it was the M10 III. This year it's along those lines, but it's not an electric unicycle. I'm still feeling in a good mood from the Eagles game last night, or late yesterday afternoon, where they got their second very improbable win in a row. Once again with Nick Foles as quarterback. I'll tell you, it's hard to definitively explain why, but the team just plays much better with Nick back there as opposed to Carson Wentz. To be fair to Carson Wentz, he's I guess been battling back pain all year due to this small fracture in his back. but it's just night and day the way that the team feels and plays with Nick back there. So I'm hoping for more of the same. And it seems luckily this the riding position on the one wheel doesn't aggravate my hip, so that's good. I was concerned about that. Gotten a lot of feedback on my Lone Ranger video when I went out on the Ranger X1, which actually, did I do that here? Yeah. Yeah, I did. Well, no, I didn't. What am I thinking? I rode the Ranger here last year. Wow, I'm losing it. I rode the Ranger here last week. Then I rode the Ranger around the school a couple days ago, just to get a more in-depth feel for it. Wow, that was lucky, man. Whoa. I hit, you can see my coffee. I went through a bog area there. That gully was very wet and I could feel the wheel starting to slip out on me. And I stayed on somehow. Spilled some coffee, but other than that, wow, very lucky. Yeah, I found that wet grass is the nemesis of the one wheel, especially when you got the slick on it. It's not hydroplaning, but it feels like a hydroplane, an instant hydroplane when you hit wet grass. And if you're trying to brake or accelerate, when you're on wet grass, forget it. It's just going to slide out on you. Oh, so what I was talking about, the Ranger, got a lot of feedback, a lot of Me Too comments from other Ranger owners. You know, it seems like, especially the tire noise issue is a universal thing, which is very surprising to me that Backfire would be okay with sending the boards out in that condition. I mean, unless they didn't test them at all before sending them out, because it takes all 2 seconds to realize that there's an abnormal tire noise when you ride one of those things. So. But it is an annoyance, at least at this point. It's too early to tell. Maybe it could lead to mechanical failure down the road. It definitely feels like it leads to some instability at higher speeds to me, which I would think that Backfire would be concerned about. So it's going to be interesting to see what they come up with as a resolution, because I don't think there's going to be an easy one. So for Christmas Eve, we're having a Christmas Eve dinner where we're hosting the majority of Cindy's local family coming over to the house. And if you saw the amount of prep that Cindy puts into this stuff, it's just crazy. I mean, she makes all the food, bakes all this stuff, you know, sets the house up, cleans up. You know, she just does so much work associated with this. It's really, really something. And of course, I appreciate it, because if it was up to me, I would be doing something much, much simpler. So, should be a fun time. It normally is. Here's a good look at these new solar roof covers that they just installed here, which I think are awesome. I mean, it's so smart. I have no idea how it works out from a cost to expense ratio, but I mean, especially in Florida, I mean, we should have freaking solar panels everywhere, man, everywhere. And to use them in this capacity just makes so much sense. Got free power. I'm curious how much power something like this would generate. Looks like they have 6 of these huge structures on each side. So I'm curious how much power something like that can generate. This is the first time this area back here has been open in a while. It's been blocked off while they did that construction. It's the first time since, I don't know, months, maybe 3 months, 4 months. And it also looks like they have completed the artificial turf. These two were under construction, and they both appear to be finished. And I see kids on them, so yeah. I think their construction project is done. They invest so much money in Parks and Rec down here, but I mean, they really, really have just beautiful facilities. Makes me want to be a kid again. Of course, I'd love to take the one wheel up on one of those artificial fields. I have a feeling it will be frowned upon, but it would be fun. Oh, I forgot I wanted to mention last night on the stream, one of the commenters in there in the live chat, his name was D Rosario, I believe. He said that he crashed on his MSX after it cut out at 49 miles an hour. That just seems insane. I guess he said the aftermath was he broke his wrist. I can't believe it wasn't worse than that. I mean, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine the impact and just the desire to want to go that fast on a single wheel device. It's just, I don't know, crazy stuff, man. You know, I guess if the only impact is they hurt themselves, then I guess you let them do that. But you know, the second someone loses control going that fast and takes out somebody else, then all kinds of shit hits the fan. Yeah, and Marty, I mean, Marty is all, he was greatly shaken up by his crash. And when he crashed, he was going about 18 miles an hour. Just because it was just like he was up and he was down, and it's funny, it happened so fast you couldn't even really remember exactly how he hit the ground. It was that sudden. So, and like I said to him on the stream last night, maybe it's an aspect of age and experience that you take those kind of situations more seriously. But it's a fun sport. It's very enjoyable, but there are perils, and a lot of people don't think about those until something serious happens. The good news is if you are properly geared, you can at least minimize the impact of what could possibly happen. All right, just gonna do it for 2 seconds, man. 2 seconds. Wow, soft. Very soft. Very soft. It's slippery. Slippery. Yeah, if I wasn't still drinking my coffee, I would try this more, but meaning the artificial turf, but we'll save it for another day. I've been debating if I wanted to do a basic one-wheel riding video similar to what I did with electric unicycles, although it would be coming from a different perspective. Like there's a series out there by Chris Richardson, who's a very, very good rider, does tricks, he's very advanced, that goes into great detail on one-wheel riding. But just like with my EUC series, I would think my video would be from the perspective of someone with my average or lower riding skill that's never ridden a board before, just to go over the things that I ran into as far as issues go. And I don't know, it might be helpful, maybe, or it just might be stupid. So just something I'm thinking about. It could be called something like a middle-aged man's beginner's guide to riding a one-wheel. Sounds like a great title. Yeah?
Hey, are you done, or do you want me to stop so you can keep riding? It's so nice out.
No, I'll stop. I was just going to stop at Publix on the way back. No, I mean, we have so much food, Cindy. I don't think you have to worry about it. What do you want? Well, just think about it, and if there's something you want me to get while I'm there, just tell me.
Bye.
All right, love you, bye.
Love you, sweetie.
Answering a phone, holding coffee, and carrying on a conversation at the same time on a one-wheel, not the best thing. All right, so I'm thinking I'll do maybe one lap on the boardwalk and call it a ride. Funny, on the live stream last night, I asked Marty if he got to borrow his friend's one wheel yet to give it a try, and he has not. And Marty said that he's an EUC guy at heart, and I still say that you don't know that until you try a one wheel. It's so different and fun in a totally different way. Both devices are a lot of fun, but for different reasons, in my opinion. Alright. I haven't actually looked at my mileage on the app lately. That was about a 6-mile ride. 212 total miles on the one wheel. Not a ton. You know, considering I've probably ridden this more than any other device in the last 6 months, but usually the rides are shorter than an EUC ride, so I guess that is reflected in the mileage. So it was a fun little ride. Good to get out. Great way to spend some time on Christmas Eve, if you ask me. My Christmas present to you will be I won't do any more videos until after Christmas, I promise. I think. So, if you found this video interesting, please give it a big thumbs up. If this is your first time visiting the channel, please consider subscribing. Feel free to leave your comments, suggestions, ideas, and thoughts below. And I hope you have a great Christmas tomorrow. And if I don't see you before New Year's, have a great New Year's as well. That's all for now. Until next time. That's me now.